There's some discussions about between the government and the landowner, I think. I'm not exactly sure what the holdup is, but we're out of offices in Taiwan, and we will have to make a decision on where we're going to put a large building. But we have a lot of engineers.
Let's talk. We will go to Taiwan after APEC.
Or China.
I can't tell you.
Anytime soon.
I can't tell you.
Just what guides you?
I would. Maybe the answer is I always love going to Taiwan, and it always makes me happy. And so I'm looking forward to going to Taiwan. Young is a great partner because we're building an incredible factory together, factories together. The factory that we're building here in Texas is going to be completely robotic. The factory's robotic. It's going to orchestrate a bunch of robots inside, and all the robots are going to be working with each other and with people, and so this factory is going to build AI supercomputers. And so Young and I saw each other yesterday. I thanked him for all the work that he did, and we're just excellent partners. He's an amazing leader. Welcome to GTC.
Sir, did you approach the Energy Department, or did they approach you about making this supercomputer deal?
Today we announced 7 supercomputers for the DOE. We're also partnering with the DOE, 8 of the labs, on quantum computing, quantum GPU computing, and it's the energy that Secretary Wright has put into advancing science for America is just really incredible. But anyhow, we worked with each one of the labs individually, but it's really Secretary Wright's vision and his energy to want to advance this and get it done so quickly that really made it possible. We're building the largest supercomputer for the U.S. government ever, 100,000 Grace Blackwell GPUs. Haven't decided.
Sir, on the White House ballroom, can you tell me what the strategy was on NVIDIA donating to the White House ballroom, and do you think that'll help you with your China strategy, help you with your issues in China?
We are so delighted to be able to contribute in a small way to what is clearly going to be a historic and national monument, and so we're delighted to do that.
We talk about reindustrializing the United States, but a lot of this being done with computers now, AI working. What role do you see the American worker playing?
First of all, as you know, we're moving manufacturing back into the United States. That's going to create hundreds of thousands of jobs. Chips, systems, packaging, and that is manufacturing our technology. We started doing that, and I delivered the first wafer, the first AI chip wafer that we built out of Arizona to the president this week. And that was a super fun moment. But we're going to build the entire supercomputer here. Now, the supercomputers that are built are then going to go into AI factories, and those AI factories are going to become more manufacturing jobs. And so, President Trump wanted manufacturing to be a cornerstone of his administration, and I was just so happy to be able to say that within 9 months, NVIDIA has been able to move manufacturing back into the United States. It's going to create lots and lots of jobs.
You announced
Can you share about the progress of the Taiwan's headquarters? Because we hear that it's delay of the land issue.
There's some discussions about between the government and the landowner, I think. I'm not exactly sure what the holdup is, but we're out of offices in Taiwan, and we will have to make a decision on where we're going to put a large building. But we have a lot of engineers.
Let's talk energy capacity. So OpenAI has called on the Trump administration to add 100 gigawatts of new electricity production per year because China is far outpacing the U.S. What do you make of their call? And can we beat China in the AI race with our current electricity output?
The United States is ahead in the AI race, and we have to stay ahead in the AI race. President Trump, on first day, has been very pro-energy growth. If not for that pro-energy growth perspective and that initiative, we would be in big trouble. There's no question about that. We need a lot more energy to sustain the growth of American industries. We're going to manufacture chips, which needs energy. We're going to manufacture systems that needs energy. We're going to manufacture AI that needs energy. So we need a lot more energy in the United States, and I'm really, really happy that President Trump is all behind it.
Jensen,
what do you think your relationship with Trump has afforded the company in terms of, being ahead of your competitors? Do you think that President Trump is picking winners and losers in the tech space?
All President Trump has ever talked to me about is helping America win. He wants America to win here. He wants America to win all over the world. He wants the world to be using American technology. He wants America to be rich. almost everything that he talks to me about is somewhere in those pillars of conversation: manufacturing, leadership in AI, exporting technology, making America rich. All of that is 100% of our conversation.
Jensen, you traveled to APAC.
Talk about the AI revolution. Should American workers be bracing for more job cuts from AI, and what can they do to prepare for the future?
AI is going to change every job, but you're not going to lose your job to an AI. You're going to lose your job to somebody who uses AI. And so I would advise everyone to engage AI. It is also the case that for companies, every company needs to use AI. We use AI all over the place. It's made NVIDIA more productive. When we are more productive, we make more money, we can move faster, we can do more. And all of those things just make the company more successful. There's no question the United States has to be the most advanced in using AI. We cannot be a laggard. It's impossible that we are. We must wake up and make sure that every single company uses AI as much as possible. It's going to make our industry more successful, more productive. You know that we have a labor shortage, not the other way around. If we have more labor capability, whether it's robotic or AI-based, chatbot-based, we're going to be able to do more, and the country will grow.
Jensen, your trip to APAC. So with the APAC meeting, do you think that you have optimism over either the president's meeting with President Xi or your meeting with the president over the ability to sell chips in China?
I have no expectations of this particular meeting, but I have 100% confidence in President Trump's ability to cut a great deal for America. And whatever he decides to do, that's in the best interest of America, I'm all in on that.
In Saudi, what's the license and permission situation for the chips that you did with Humane and the kind of status of the other Gulf deals?
I'm not exactly sure where the status is. I hope that it gets through as quickly as possible. Some of it has to do with equal amounts of investment, which the president has been very clear about. We will enable GPUs to be built outside the country, but they also need to invest in GPUs being built inside the company. I'm not exactly sure what the status of that.
For your trips in China at this point, do you expect yourself to meet Chinese officials while you're in South Korea?
We are currently completely shut out of China. The president has licensed us to ship to China, but China has blocked us from being able to ship to China.
Have you got
I'm
any
not
license
exactly
from the BIS?
We have many of our chips have been licensed, but at the moment we're not shipping in China. So we've taken China out of our forecast. We're currently shipping $0. Our market share has gone from 95% to 0, which is very disappointing. But nonetheless, we're currently assuming China is going to be 0% of our business. And if it comes back, if President Trump was able to negotiate, or if China would like us to come back to China, it's going to be a huge bonus for us.
Do you think
I'll just use
Sir, you announced a new cloud today. Your partners in the old cloud, how do you think they're going to feel about that, especially in telecom?
The telecommunication network today is essentially communications. It's not a computing platform. It's kind of like networking used to be back in the old days. Cloud computing added computing services on top of the network. We're going to do the same. We're going to use AI to revolutionize 5G to 6G, and then on top of that, we're going to use radios to deliver AI services for robotics and industrial automation, and so on and so forth. I think it's going to be a brand new growth opportunity for us. This is several $100 billion infrastructure business, and it needs to be reinvented. So this is a brand new growth initiative for us.
Jensen, do you have any Blackwell specific licenses from the U.S. government to sell to China right now, and do you expect to receive any?
We haven't asked for any. We just let the Chinese government and the United States figure out exactly how we're going to address China in the future. But currently, I'm assuming it's 0.
The president said he wants to congratulate you. Do you know what he wants to congratulate you for?
GTC? No. Well, first of all, I think he wants to congratulate me for manufacturing in the United States. That we did it at light speed. It took us 9 months from the moment that President Trump encouraged us to manufacture in the United States to set up all of our manufacturing here. We've got wafer manufacturing, packaging, system manufacturing, and we're building AI factories. And so that's going to create lots and lots of jobs here in the United States.
How many hours will you meet with him? Do you fly tonight to go to see him, or when do you meet with him?
I'm going to fly soon.
Jensen, this wafers are AI market. There are concerns that the AI market is bubble waiting to burst. What's your take on that?
there's a couple of things that I would consider. Number one, before there's AI, there's actually a more fundamental computing platform transition. As you might not know, but NVIDIA invented a new way of doing computing called accelerated computing. The old way, general purpose computing on CPUs, is making way to NVIDIA's accelerated computing on GPUs. That's used for all kinds of applications now, in addition to AI, not even including AI. On top of that, we have the AI ecosystem going. The second thing I'll say is AI is now profitable, meaning AIs are now so good that they deserve to be paid for. Instead of just being interesting, they're very productive. NVIDIA pays for a lot of AI, and the company we use is Cursor. We love using it. And so I think that because it's profitable now, the moment it becomes profitable and the tokens are profitable, you're going to make more capacity to generate more tokens.
Are the jobs in AI?
We understand those wafers in Arizona still have to go back to Taiwan for advanced packaging. How long do you think it'll be before we're able to do all that packaging in the
Hopefully
United
several
States?
more months. We're going to do a lot of packaging here in the United States.
Back to power, you opened your keynote by saying that you're going to power everything with unlimited clean energy. Where are you getting unlimited clean energy from?
In the beginning, first of all, no matter what, we're going to need every single source of energy, and fossil fuel is going to have to be one of the major ones. Power generation with power generation behind the meter is going to be a very important. President Trump has been very encouraging to enable companies to do their own power generation, and we'll generate our own power and maybe even rent it back to the grid. In the future, there'll be nuclear, and hopefully in the future, it'll be fusion. And so all of that technology needs to be invented today.
On San Francisco, sir, what's the next thing that you plan to do to prevent crime in San Francisco as part of your effort to keep the president from sending federal troops there?
Mayor Lurie is doing a fantastic job, and that's his 100% focus. I connected to two of them because Mayor Lurie didn't know President Trump, and I'm delighted that they're communicating.
You said AI is making great.
Where do you see the place of your company in the AI competition between China and the U.S. and the AI, the tech rivalry? Where do you see your place?
Well, of course, America is where AI was invented, and our company was built here, and it's our job to stay ahead. And so we just need to run as fast as we can. China has incredible people. Their STEM education is incredible, the best in the world. They have 50% of the world's AI researchers. We have to respect the capabilities of China. We have to not be complacent. We have to run as fast as we can.
You said follow up on their jobs. What is your message to American workers worried that AI will replace their jobs?
One, I would tell them, one, we're going to move manufacturing back to the United States. We need a lot of mechanical, electrical, plumbing, construction, skilled craft workers. We desperately need them. As many of them know, their demand is very, very high. It's great for their salaries, and I'm very happy about that. And we need a much larger body of skilled craft labor here in the United States. So number one, we're going to create a lot more jobs. Second, AI is so smart that anybody can use it. And if you don't know how to use AI, just ask AI, how do I use you? I have this, whatever it is that I would like to do, teach me how to use AI to solve that problem, and I'll teach it to you. And so the important idea is that AI is the world's best technology, has closed the technology divide so that everybody could be empowered by technology for the first time. Until now, it was really only my generation that was able to, and people who knew how to program software and design computers benefited from the technology capability of computing, but now everybody will benefit from it. So take advantage of it.
Jensen, where are we in the labor displacement cycle, given that a lot of people are looking at the Amazon announcement and kind of worried about that happening already right now?
I don't know what their current circumstance is, but my belief is that everyone's jobs will change because of AI. My job has changed because of AI, so every job will be affected, if you will. However, remember, it is very likely that AI is going to help you become more productive, more successful, and ensure that you keep your job. And whether it's your job or your company, I would definitely encourage everybody to use AI. You are not going to lose your job to you're not going to lose your job to AI. You're going to lose your job to somebody who uses AI.
On partnerships, sir, how many new ones did you announce
AI
today?
factory in Taiwan because we have a Foxconn or TSMC.
We're partnering with Foxconn to build AI factory in Taiwan. Taiwan needs a whole bunch of AI factories. Every country needs AI factory, and so Taiwan was forward thinking and recognizing that it needs to build AI factory for all their researchers and companies, and, startups. And, I'm delighted by the work that we're doing with Foxconn.
On partnerships, sir, do you know how many new partnerships you announced today? And can you rattle them off?
Well, I can tell you this. We introduced a brand new, NVIDIA is really about computing platforms. And about 10, 12 years ago, I announced the computing platform that led to today's AI. And so today, I announced a computing platform for quantum called CUDA-Q and NVQ-Link. I introduced a new computing platform for robo-taxis called Hyperion. I introduced incredible wireless telecommunication computing platform that's called ART. And so I introduced several computing platforms, and then our enterprise computing platform with Palantir and with CrowdStrike. Palantir, the fastest growing enterprise software company in the world, SaaS company in the world, and CrowdStrike, incredible cybersecurity company in the world. So whenever we introduce a new platform, computing platform, we need partners to take it to market.
Jensen, what's your total value of your contracts with the DOE announced today? Do you have a total dollar figure for all 7?
I haven't, but it's a lot. And the reason for that is because we're building the largest AI supercomputer for the DOE. And so that's going to have 100,000 GPUs. There's 6 other supercomputers that we're building, not to mention all the supercomputers that will be connected to the quantum systems for all the labs.
AMD announced yesterday they were also working with the Department of Energy, Lux, and Discovery. How will your supercomputers compare to those announced yesterday?
They're larger. We're a larger company, and so it's sensible that this is an area that obviously we're very good at. The systems that we're building are much, much larger, and we're building a lot more. And of course, for all the labs, the quantum systems that we're building are quite unique.
Jensen, is NVIDIA going to supply chips to Samsung and Hyundai as well?
We're partnering with Samsung and Hyundai in many ways. Their two companies are going to invest in AI factories. Every company that manufactures today will need to manufacture intelligence in the future. And so, for example, one of my favorites, and Elon is very early in realizing this, he manufactures cars, but he also manufactures AIs for the cars. Next, he's going to manufacture robots, but he has to manufacture the AI for the robots. So in a lot of ways, the way to think about that is every manufacturing company in the future will have 2 manufacturing systems. One to build the machine, and the other to build the AI that powers that machine. Caterpillar is another perfect example that we announced today. And so,
is there a new deal that you plan to announce in South Korea with those 2 companies?
But if I announce it today,
Jensen,
what's your favorite AI?
My favorite AI, I use ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, and I ask them for second and third opinions.
And what's your best prompt? What's your favorite prompt?
My favorite prompt is when I load a whole bunch of research papers into the AI, and I come up with a rough outline of the type of research that I would like to do, and a whole bunch of questions. And so I'm fairly rigorous in setting up the AI to succeed, and it comes back with a fairly detailed report, and that's really, really quite successful.
Why is the AI boom different than the dot-com bubble, for those that might be skeptical?
The AI boom, well, first of all, many of the AI companies are already the fastest growing companies ever in history. I think OpenAI is one of the fastest growing companies in history. Their revenues will suggest it. Cursor is one of the fastest growing companies in history. The list goes on. And so these companies are generating real revenues, and the tokens that they generate, they're investing really quite significantly. So maybe the company's not profitable, but the AIs that they're selling, the AIs that they're licensing, is completely profitable. And that's a big deal. The fact that the product that they're offering to the marketplace is a profitable product, that's the reason why they all want to scale Because if you manufacture something with profit, you want to manufacture a lot more of it.
On your meeting with President Trump, is there anything you'd like to foreshadow with us on what your big ask will be, what you will discuss with him? Obviously, you'll discuss China and some of your market issues. Is there anything else you can share with us on what you plan to ask President Trump?
No.
How far behind is the grid from where you need to be for demand in terms of electricity? We talked to a lot of grid operators. They say,
remember, AI doesn't care where it goes to school.
Okay.
And so we could put AI behind the grid, behind the meter. And so we ought to generate power as much as we can. We ought to use sustainable power as much as we can. We're going to use power of all kinds, whatever's available. It doesn't have to be on the grid. It's also the case that putting these factories on the grid, sharing the grid, will be helpful to the grid long term. And so, because these power generators are going to generate an enormous amount of power, we could rent it back into the grid when the grid needs it.
What do you think is just the beginning of AI's impact on the workforce?
Yeah, and obviously is, and I think we are at the very beginnings of the AI journey, as useful AIs are now being adopted all over the world. It's really terrific to see AI being helpful in healthcare. In fact, healthcare is one of the fastest adopting industries in AI. It's terrific to see that AI is going to be adopted in autonomous vehicles and robo-taxis. It's really happening there. Obviously, in software development and all of the work that NVIDIA does, we use AIs pervasively and really deeply. And so AI is now industry by industry by industry, starting with the most important ones, really taking off.
What have you learned from the process of building Blackwell manufacturing in the U.S. that you think the tech industry and the White House needs to understand as it wants to do more tech manufacturing?
I learned that America needs a very substantial increase in skilled labor workforce. Mechanical engineers, electricals and plumbing and carpenters and construction. The skilled craft labor force in the United States is about to get a giant boom in amount of business opportunity and growth opportunity, and I'm really happy about that. Look, I went to college and I was very fortunate to have done that, and I chose to do that. But there's a lot of wonderful lives and wonderful professions that could be had where people don't go to college and they would just like to dedicate themselves to skilled craft. I think that America needs to honor, to celebrate people who dedicate themselves to the skilled craft part of the ecosystem. Without them making beautiful things and wonderful things, how would we be able to enjoy life? And so everything in the world doesn't have to be about typewriting, don't you think, which is my job. Everything doesn't have to be about software. There's a lot of wonderful things that needs to be built. And I'm really grateful for all of the work that the Arizona workers and the Texas workers and the Indiana workers in helping us stand up all that manufacturing in just a few months.
You're traveling to South Korea tomorrow. So what kind of partnership do you expect between NVIDIA and Korean companies like Samsung and SK?
Samsung, SK, Hyundai, LG, Naver. If you just look across the entire Korean ecosystem, every one of the companies are deep friends of mine and very good partners. And so when I go, hopefully we'll have some announcements that will be really, really delightful to the people of Korea and really delightful to President Trump. But I'll save it for a few more days.
Just will you go to Taiwan after APEC? Will we go to Taiwan after APEC?
Or China?
I can't tell you.
Anytime soon.
I can't tell you.
Just what guides you?
Maybe the answer is I always love going to Taiwan, and it always makes me happy. And so I'm looking forward to going to Taiwan. I always love going to Korea. People don't know this, but a long, long time ago, NVIDIA's core business, the first business we invented was video games. And Korea was the first country to embrace NVIDIA in video games. The PC Bang, the iCafe, and esports, all completely invented in Korea. And so I'm really quite looking forward to my trip.
So just what guides you these days in navigating the geopolitics, which have become very, very tricky? And do you think now has come to the time for tech companies to choose a side between China and the US?
Look, we want America to win. We want America to succeed. We want America to be a great country. That doesn't mean we're anti anybody else. we don't have to choose. And so we're an American company, we're a proud American company, and NVIDIA is here, and we have every right to want Americans to be successful. And so and we do. What was your first question?
What guides you in navigating the two politics?
The important thing to realize is that technology matters deeply in politics and geopolitics. And the reason for that is because technology is one of the largest industries in the world. It's one of the most important industries in the world, and it affects literally every single industry. And so it's sensible that policymakers and leaders in Washington, D.C. needs to be informed about the technology. And my job is I'm guided by simply that, informing them about technology, informing about the dynamics of the technology industry, and help them understand the potential intended or unintended consequences of various policy decisions. That's my job, it's just to inform them.
Jensen, why hasn't NVIDIA sought licenses yet for approval of the Blackwell to China?
We haven't sought it because China hasn't decided China wants us to go back to China. You know, we can only serve China if China wants us to be there. And they've made it very clear that they don't want NVIDIA to be there right now. And for whatever reasons, I hope that will change in the future because I think China is a very important market. There's as I mentioned earlier, amazing AI developers, amazing engineers in China. And we can only succeed if the developers of the world's software and AIs were to be built on top of American tech stack. And so I hope that we have an opportunity to go back and serve that market. We've been in China for 30 years, and for whatever reason, they decided that they don't want to stay right now. I hope they decide to change that. But in the meantime, we're patient and we're learning about what they're concerned about, and we'll do our best to address that.
Jason, can you talk about the dinner with Yang Liu yesterday?
Young is a great partner because we're building an incredible factory together, factories together. The factory that we're building here in Texas is going to be completely robotic. The factory's robotic. It's going to orchestrate a bunch of robots inside, and all the robots are going to be working with each other and with people, and so this factory is going to build AI supercomputers. And so Young and I saw each other yesterday. I thanked him for all the work that he did. And we're just excellent partners. He's an amazing leader. Okay, am I done? Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.